Story time. So let's see if I can remember how everything happened. Start with this. I'll be making myself up with She Glam products while telling you guys the story how I unknowingly dated a drug dealer. Really remember. I can't remember how we met. I can't remember how we met. I've been trying to think about it, but I sincerely cannot remember how most of our dates was like something out of a fairy tale. We will picnic, we'll go for a picnic, and then we'll go to pleasure park and just stay in the car and watch a movie, and everything just felt so good, so cool, and everything. And yeah, but for me, one thing about me is that I listen to my intuition a lot. My intuition says no, it means no. If my intuition says yes, it means yes. But for this time around, my intuition was like, run. It says yes, but still run. But for some reasons, I didn't run because I was like, what is the worst that could happen? As usual, what is the worst? No, this is not it. Um, what is the worst that could happen? So we were here going out. He was so attentive of what I like and what I didn't like. He was really, really caring. And you're feeling someone, you start asking the person some questions like, yo, what do you do for a living and stuff like that. So yeah, he explained to me what he did for a living. Works for this person. So I was like, okay, if he works for this person, still, 1 plus 1 is not making 2. Like when you check it, my 1 plus 1 was not making 2. Like there was something wrong somewhere. And definitely, he didn't give up Yahoo Boys vibes. That's one thing. He didn't give me off that vibe. He wasn't acting that way. So, what's up? Cause apart from this, your job, what else do you do? Cause it doesn't add up whatsoever you're saying. These are products I got from Shein, so I'm testing them. So if you feel like it doesn't match my skin, it's just because I'm testing them. And okay, I changed the tone of the lights. I think this fits more my skin tone. I don't know. This is like my first video on YouTube in a long time, so any edit I have to do, I'm going to do it later on. I'm going to watch my setting later on, and yeah. So as I was saying, whatever he was saying didn't really match. So I kept asking him, what are you doing for a living? One certain day he's like, you know what? I trust you. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, because I trust you, I'm going to tell you, what's up. I'm going to tell you what I do for a living. I was like, yeah, that's cool. We got into his car and he was like, I'm going to tell you what's up, and you're going to decide. You can still decide if you still want to like roll with me or not. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I should have put this before putting my foundation. I should have done this. So he's going to tell me because he feels like he trusts me. I was like, okay, cool. Feels like you have a side hustle. And he goes, oh, actually, I sell drugs. And I'm like, sir? And he's like, yeah, that he's into drugs. And I was like, just like that. Just like that. Because that day was the day I planned on going to his place. So he was like, he's telling me, so it's left for me to say if I'm still comfortable to come to his place. So I was like, okay, if he's telling me, that means he's a good person, right? So right now it's more like, are you coming or you're not coming now that you know who I am? Your girl is a bit risky. I said yes, and we went to his place. When we got to his place, he brought out, I'm coming. We got to his place here. He said, oh, I mean, like, we got to his place for, yeah. So, as he was like, oh, I think, did I tell you guys that when we came down, he got out a big bag out of his car. He brought out a bag out of his car, and I was like, oh, what's inside the bag? He was like, nothing. And I'm like, oh, but there is something inside the bag. I want to just know what is inside the bag. And then when we got in, he was like, I can open the bag and check what is inside. And then I saw drugs. Did I leave the house? No. Was I scared? Yes. But was I excited and scared at the same time? Yes. It felt like I was being the bunny to his client. So I stayed. Then we started kissing. And while we were kissing, he said, oh, I want to blindfold you. And I was like, wait, I'm coming. Let me go to the bathroom. I got to the bathroom. I texted my sister, sent her his picture. Because you just told me you're selling drugs. And I just saw loads of drugs. And now you want to blindfold me. He asked if he could blindfold me, and then I was super scared. I was like, a minute. I went and texted my sister, sent my sister his pictures, everything about him. And then I came back and I was like, yeah, you can blindfold me. Because he was like, oh, it's a surprise. He wants to surprise me. I was like, okay, you can blindfold me. So he blindfolded me. And yeah, it was a good experience. What happened when I was blindfolded? Um, he bought ice block. So he did his thing with the ice block, and it was icing. So, but after that night, I think it's cakey here. We never had, we never had anything doing together again. Cause, I mean, like, what if one day, you understand, they catch him and they also come from me. So that was the last time. So that was the last time we saw each other after the night. He got me blindfolded, and that was the last time we saw each other. It was as if like we knew that we are not going to talk to each other again after that night. So the night was bomb. So being risky was cool. It was a nice experience. It was. Now, so I was saying it was all rosy. The dates were dating and everything. It was fire, and yeah. So that's the end. That night was